What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's full-time reaction to St Mirren 2, Celtic 5. Delighted to have Martin back with me to go through it. Martin, big 3 points, 16 clear now. That was a really tough, hard-fought win for us, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, in the very early stages of the game, I thought, if we're going to pass the ball, I think it was the last game or the game before that, because we passed the ball very, very well. And one of the ways to beat this St Mirren team, a big physical team, is to just pass the ball around them and not let them get close to you. But very early on in that first half, you could see that St Mirren, we were trying to play the high press and they were just getting in behind us, and you could see they were closing us down really, really well. A lot of tasty challenges, and we really struggled. If it hadn't been for Schmeichel in that first half, we could easily been a couple of goals down. They had more shots on target, more clear-cut chances. We had the one with Hatate in the first half.
Yeah.
But other than that, in that first half, you're thinking, we're lucky to get away with it. And of course, it changed in the second half, but that first half was not good, and St Mirren take great credit.
Yeah, I think you know what St Mirren are like, physical side, but aggressive in terms of picking the moments to press you, as you say, and close you down. I thought they did that well. They have a couple of great chances. We go ahead through Sloop, good goal, good to see him get on the score sheet for the first time for us. And then we get pegged back and we get the penalty just before half time. And again, you're looking at the second half, can we maybe get a bit more control, but in the early period that wasn't the case, and then they get the equaliser again with the deflection for the edge of the box. And even after that, I think again we just couldn't really get control the way you expect Celtic to be. And I think, talking about the away form just in the game there, the away form recently in the league hasn't been brilliant. I think it's 2 wins in the last 6 coming into tonight. But I thought the changes in the game gave it a totally different complexion, didn't they?
I read probably a similar stat to you. We'd won 10 consecutive away games and then drawn 2 and lost 2 and won 2 in the last 6. So, I mean, just that's come from nowhere, and yet our home form has been spectacular. But I think, that first goal against the run of play, great finish, the great view from where we were standing, just to see left peg, stuck it in,
great free kick,
stuck it in the opposite corner.
Yeah.
Free kick. I've actually watched this still, and it's a perfect free kick.
I can't save it.
I think the tallest player out of the 3 that are in the walls in the middle, and then he does just kind of on the edge. He's quite late coming in to try and defend it. Scales got some height. Alistair Johnson didn't quite. He could have got a wee bit higher, but it was well over his head as well. And of course it came in off the bar. Schmeichel had no chance. Brilliant free kick, and it's actually one of those, because it was right in the edge of the box. You're thinking it's too close for him to score.
Almost,
but when you take it a step back, Scales should never have given away that free kick. Do you
remember
there was a tasty tackle prior to that, and then Scales had just come on.
Yeah.
And he was rusty, and it was a terrible foul to give away. There's no need for it. He was just a bit slow to make the tackle. But then we get the penalty, and you think, how we 2-1 up at half time?
I know.
But as you say, going into the second half, first 15 minutes looked like it was going to be much the same.
Yeah.
And almost guaranteed as Ida and Maeda change at 60 minutes,
yeah.
but nobody seen McGregor going off. Nobody anticipated that.
I think we were talking about it as well. Thought maybe Hatate would be the player to come off. You expect Jota to come on, Ida going off, and then Maeda through the middle. But Jan came on at the same time for Kuhn on the right hand side, and he changed the game. I mean, he scored 2 goals, he's got an assist, he had another one ruled out for offside, another great chance in the game where I think they keep it that one where it's a scramash in the 6-yard box, and I think Maeda ends up putting it wide. I think the flag goes up eventually, but what an impact Jang had in the game tonight.
Well, the reason we're standing here not managing Celtic is we probably wouldn't have made some of those subs, because you take Kuhn off and you think, he's one of our best players. And I know it's not uncommon for Yang to get on and get a wee chance. McCowan has been hot and cold. I mean, we all love him, we're all desperate for him to do well, and he is a good player, but hasn't necessarily performed particularly well in recent weeks. So again, wasn't sure what kind of impact he would make, but I thought all 3 subs were excellent. And of course Maeda going into the middle, what a player he is. I think that's now in the last 11 league games, 10 goals and 4 assists. I mean, it's just sensational what an impact. And the big decision the manager's got to make, and I think it's coming, is whether Maeda starts week in, week out at number 9. He's got a quandary now, because he is good on the wing, but nowhere near as good as what he is through the middle.
It's incredible, isn't it? Because with Maeda, I mean, it's his best goal scoring season for the club by a mile, but I think he's got so much better this season. I don't think it's always been glaring that he should be playing through the middle. Obviously the circumstances with Kyogo leaving have meant that he's played through there a lot more often, but even some of his link up when he went through there tonight was brilliant, and it really helped us again with the changes, freshen things up. But his finishing ability is like, if you go back to the player that first arrived here, he would sometimes get through in the keeper and you would have next to no confidence in him finishing it. Now every time he gets in front of goal you feel like he's going to score.
I've said this to my wee boy, plays football, I've said this since he was a wee boy. Try and anticipate, try and recognise what's going to happen in the next phase of the game, and try and be ready and react quicker than anybody else. and Maeda does that better than anybody I've ever seen. He anticipates. There was a great example of that in the game today where he was miles away, and I think it was Yang and the keeper
parried it.
Oh,
how did he get on the end of that?
I know. He just comes from nowhere. But it's because he's playing on his toes or his heels, whatever you want to call it, right? But he's ready to go. He's like a leopard, a panther. He's just so quick, and then his speed, his acceleration. But it's because he anticipates and he reads the game so well. But when you play him in that central position as opposed to out wide, because he does that out wide, but you play him in that central position because it's such a pivotal part of the park, and of course you often get an assist or a goal. He's so dangerous, and I think his best position undoubtedly is number 9 now. But what do you do with Ida? Because Ida's not necessarily an impact sub. He's a player that you start in the game and he maybe gets you a goal. And I think it was the right decision today. Big physical team. And you're thinking you probably need that. But back to the point I was trying to make earlier on around if you just pass the ball around St Mirren, that big physical team, don't let them get near it. And if there's loads and loads of movement, there was another couple of opportunities where Ida was away, splitting the defence, and the pass didn't come. I think there was one that Tati played late on, and he tried to play it wide rather than through the middle. But you talked about Yang earlier on, between Yang and Maeda, what an impact they had in that last 30 minutes.
They were absolutely brilliant, and that's, I suppose, headache, or it's not a headache for the manager. I think it's clear for him the last 4, 5, 6 games when Maeda's been through the middle, we've played a lot better, and you'd expect going into next week against Hibs and then the derby the following week, if he's looking at his strongest team, it's probably with Dyson through the middle. I thought McCowan coming on, as you say, for McGregor, Engels sort of dropped into the deeper position, the McGregor position. I thought we got a second wind out of Tati. I don't know where that came from in the game. He looked lost at a period of it, and he was drifting by players in that last half hour as well. He was unbelievable in the last half an hour.
McCowan was good, as you say. Engels can play that number 6 comfortably. I mean, Callum did nothing wrong in the game, but we weren't dominating in the middle, were we?
He's played so much football as well.
He has. He's played a lot. Give him a rest, and I think McCowan's got so much to offer. He's got so much energy. He's got a wee bit of everything as well. So I think pushing him into that 10 position, 8 position, whichever one, he offers so much. But as you say, the two other than Maeda, the two you talk about the most in that final phase of the game would be Yang, and he's really turned it on the last few weeks. I know he was a talking point in the channel during the week because there was mixed opinions about whether he had played well or not against Aberdeen. And as you say, Hattati, the number of fans round about me that were criticising him because he had been a bit anonymous in the game, but how good was he playing alongside Yang, and the wee interplay between the two of them. There was one I remember where the wee deft pass and then he cut it back. Do you remember that one? Some of the football was Barcelona like.
And I think it might have been, I don't know if it was Hattati or Jota that laid Yang in for the goal that was offside as well. 16 clear, is it 9 games to go? 27 to play for, so 4 wins will see it done. The derby in a couple of weeks. Scottish Cup duty next weekend, but we're right on the cusp of finishing this off, aren't we?
Everyone's planning, when we're going to win the league, should we win the derby game, and I think it's St Johnstone away if we continue to win, and Rangers would need to win everything other than a defeat against us.
Doesn't look likely right now, does it?
It doesn't, no. They've really chucked it, and did think a change of manager might make a difference, because it often does, regardless of who the manager is that comes in, because sometimes just the relationship between the manager and the players becomes stale, and it's time for a change, but that hasn't really made a difference. They got away with it during the weekend, and today they've obviously 3 defeats at home. It's very unlike Rangers, so it looks inevitable. It's just a matter of when. I think it so happens we've got 3 home games and 1 away game round about that period when we're anticipating we might win, so it would be nice to win at home so more fans can see it, but it is inevitable. And then concentration on the cup. Hibs are on a high, so they'll be coming, I think 14 games undefeated. They'll be coming with a wee spring in their step, and
big game for them tomorrow.
Haven't beaten us, big game tomorrow, So I don't think Hibs will beat us at home, but who knows? Who knows, they might. But get through the semi and then see what happens from there, and see if we can push on for a treble. I think we can get 102 points if we win all the games. I know we're not probably going to win them all, but if we did. But the thing that's been really, really good about this Celtic team, I think the last 7 games we've scored 28 goals. I mean, the goals are flying in. We're not conceding a lot either, particularly at home, but 28 goals in 7 games. I think it's something like 50 goals, and going back to the start of the year, something like that domestically. The goals are coming, they're coming from lots of different players as well. Another example of that today.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge spread of goals. That's been a theme all season. Man of the match today, is it going to be one of those subs? Is it Yang, 2 goals and assist?
Certainly
Dyson, maybe.
Yang was getting all the credit at the end, wasn't he? He was the one who's been asked to go and address the fans. All the players were rightly so around him when he scored. I mean, a massive impact. It'd be tempting to give it to Yang for the impact he made in the game, but I think probably Maeda maybe for me. I toss a coin between those two. I'll give it to Maeda.
I'll go Yang. Split it 50-50. There you go. That's it for full-time reaction. Like the video, give us your own thoughts on the game below. and we'll see you during the week for the build-up to that quarter-final in the Scottish Cup against Hibs. Cheers.